stop scrolling right now, because the nickel in your pocket could be worth thousands of dollars. Yes, we're talking about rare buffalo nickels that collectors are hunting for every single day. At number 3, a rare buffalo nickel with a full date and strong details. Most of these coins lost their dates over time, but if yours still has a clear year, it can be worth serious money, even hundreds of dollars depending on condition. At number 2, the famous three-legged buffalo error. This coin looks normal at first, but one of the buffalo's legs is missing because of a minting mistake. If you spot this rare error, your coin could be worth thousands. And at number 1, the ultimate buffalo nickel treasure. A rare early-year coin in excellent condition with sharp details. These are extremely hard to find, and collectors are willing to pay huge money, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. So, before you spend any old nickel, check your coins carefully. That small piece of change could be a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. Moneybag fire. Right now, there's a coin that millions of people have seen, but very few truly understand its real value. And that coin is the 1913 Buffalo nickel. This small 5-cent coin from the United States has become one of the most iconic and collectible coins in history. But here's the truth. Some of these coins are worth far more than their face value. In fact, the right 1913 Buffalo nickel could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on condition, rarity, and special features. The Buffalo nickel was introduced in 1913, replacing the Liberty Head nickel. It was designed by James Earl Fraser, and the design was inspired by real American figures. The front of the coin shows a Native American profile, and the back features a powerful American bison. This design made the coin instantly popular and remains one of the most loved designs in U.S. coin history. Now here's where things get interesting. The 1913 Buffalo nickel actually has 2 major types, and many people don't even realize this. Early in 1913, the coin was minted with the buffalo standing on a raised mound. This is known as the Type 1 design. However, this design caused a major problem. The denomination, which says 5 cents, wore off very quickly in circulation. Because of this issue, the U.S. Mint quickly changed the design later in the same year. The new design, known as Type 2, placed the buffalo on a flat line instead of a mound. This helped protect the lettering and made the coin more durable. So, if you have a 1913 Buffalo nickel, the first thing you need to do is check which type you have. Type 1 and Type 2 can have different values depending on condition and demand. Another key factor that can make your 1913 Buffalo nickel valuable is the mint mark. These coins were produced at different mint locations, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Coins from Denver have a small D mint mark, and coins from San Francisco have an S. Philadelphia coins do not have a mint mark. Now, listen carefully because this is where collectors start paying serious money. The 1913 S Buffalo nickel is one of the key dates in the series. Coins from the San Francisco Mint were produced in lower numbers, making them more rare and desirable. If you happen to have a 1913 S Buffalo nickel in good condition, it could be worth a significant amount. Condition is everything when it comes to coin value. Most Buffalo nickels were heavily circulated, which means they show a lot of wear. The date is often worn off, and the details of the buffalo and the Native American can be very faint. However, if you find a 1913 Buffalo nickel with a clear date, strong details, and minimal wear, its value can increase dramatically. Collectors use grading terms like good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, and mint state to describe the condition of coins. A heavily worn coin might only be worth a few dollars, but a high-grade example can be worth hundreds or even thousands. And if a coin is in uncirculated condition, meaning it was never used in everyday transactions, the value can skyrocket. There are also special features that can make a 1913 Buffalo nickel even more valuable. For example, coins with a strong strike, sharp details, and original luster are highly sought after by collectors. These coins look almost new and are much harder to find. Another thing to look for is errors and varieties. Minting errors can make a coin extremely rare and valuable. These include things like double dies, off-center strikes, or other unusual features. If your 1913 Buffalo nickel looks different from others, it might be worth having it checked by a professional. Now, imagine this: you find an old coin in a drawer, and it turns out to be a rare 1913 Buffalo nickel in excellent condition. That small piece of metal could be worth a surprising amount of money. This is why coin collectors always say, never ignore old coins. The popularity of the Buffalo nickel series continues to grow. Collectors love the design, the history, and the challenge of finding high-quality examples. Because of this, demand remains strong, and prices for rare coins continue to increase over time. If you want to know the value of your 1913 Buffalo nickel, you should carefully examine its condition, check for mint mark, and identify whether it is Type 1 or Type 2. You can also compare it with online listings or take it to a coin dealer for an expert opinion. It's also important to store your coins properly. Keep them in a safe, dry place and avoid cleaning them. Cleaning can damage the surface and reduce the value significantly. Collectors prefer coins in their original condition, even if they look old or dirty. Many people have found valuable coins in unexpected places. Old piggy banks, inherited collections, garage sales, and even pocket change can hold hidden treasures. The key is knowing what to look for and taking the time to check your coins carefully. The 1913 Buffalo nickel is more than just a coin. It is a piece of American history. It represents a time when coins were designed with artistic beauty and cultural significance. Owning one of these coins is like holding a piece of the past in your hand. And here's the exciting part: there are still valuable coins out there waiting to be discovered. Every day, people find rare coins that they didn't even know they had. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. So, the next time you see an old nickel, don't just ignore it. Take a closer look. Check the date, the design, and the details. You never know, that small coin could be worth far more than you think. If you enjoy discovering hidden treasures and learning about valuable coins, make sure to keep exploring. There are many more rare coins out there, each with its own story and value. Because sometimes the smallest coins can hold the biggest surprises. Money bag fire. Have you ever wondered if a simple old nickel sitting in your pocket, jar, or coin collection could secretly be worth thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars? Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1923 Buffalo nickel. And what you're about to learn might completely change how you look at every nickel you find from now on. The 1923 Buffalo nickel is part of one of the most iconic coin designs ever created. This coin features a powerful Native American portrait on the front and a bold American buffalo on the reverse. It represents strength, heritage, and history all in one small piece of metal. But here's the shocking part: not all 1923 Buffalo nickels are equal. Some are extremely common and worth just a few dollars, while others can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even more depending on certain rare factors. First, let's talk about why this coin is so popular among collectors. The Buffalo nickel series was minted between 1913 and 1938, and it quickly became one of the most loved designs in U.S. coin history. The 1923 version is especially interesting because of its mint variations and condition rarity. If you understand what to look for, you might be sitting on a small fortune without even knowing it. Now, let's get into the real value. A typical 1923 Buffalo nickel in very worn condition might only be worth around $1 to $5. That's not very exciting. But here's where things get interesting. If your coin is in better condition, like fine or extremely fine, it can jump to anywhere between $20 and $100. But that's just the beginning. If you happen to have a 1923 Buffalo nickel in uncirculated condition, meaning it looks almost brand new, with strong details and know where, the value can explode. These coins can easily sell for hundreds or even over $1,000 depending on the grade. And in top-grade mint condition, some examples have sold for several $1,000s at auction. But wait, there's something even more important you need to check right now. Mint marks. The 1923 Buffalo nickel was minted in two main locations, and this can drastically affect the value of your coin. If your coin has no mint mark, it was minted in Philadelphia. These are the most common. But if you flip the coin over and see a small S mint mark, that means it was minted in San Francisco, and these are much rarer. The 1923 S Buffalo nickel is one of the key coins in the entire series. In low grades, it might be worth around $20 to $50, but in higher grades, this coin can reach hundreds or even thousands of dollars. In top condition, a 1923 S Buffalo nickel has sold for over $10,000. Yes, you heard that right, over $10,000 for a single nickel. Now, imagine finding one of these coins in your old collection or inherited box of coins. This is why collectors and treasure hunters are constantly searching through old change. But that's not all. There are also error coins and special varieties that can increase the value even more. Sometimes, coins were struck incorrectly at the mint, creating unique features like double strikes, off-center designs, or weak details. These errors can turn an ordinary coin into something extremely rare and valuable. One common issue with Buffalo nickels is that the date often wears off due to the design. If your 1923 coin still has a strong, clear date, that is a big plus and can increase its value significantly. Always check the date carefully. A clear date means better grade, and better grade means more money. Also pay attention to the details on the buffalo and the Native American portrait. Look for strong lines, clear horns, and visible hair detail. The sharper the design, the more valuable your coin becomes. Another important factor is luster. Coins that still have a shiny original surface are much more desirable than dull or heavily worn ones. Collectors are always willing to pay more for coins that look fresh and well-preserved. Now, let's talk about real auction results. Some high-grade 1923 Buffalo nickels have sold for over $3,000 to $5,000, and rare mint-mark versions can go even higher. The rarest examples in top condition can break into five-figure prices. This is why serious collectors are always on the lookout for these coins. But here's the biggest opportunity for you. Many people don't realize what they have. Old coin jars, inherited collections, or even random finds can include valuable Buffalo nickels. If you know what to look for, you can turn a simple 5-cent coin into a valuable asset. So what should you do right now? Start checking your coins. Look for Buffalo nickels, especially from the 1920s. Focus on the 1923 date. Check for mint marks. Examine the condition. And most importantly, don't clean your coin. Cleaning can actually destroy the value and make it less desirable to collectors. If you think you have a valuable coin, consider getting it professionally graded. Certified coins often sell for much higher prices because buyers trust the authenticity and condition. The 1923 Buffalo nickel is more than just a coin. It's a piece of history, a collector's treasure, and for some lucky people, a hidden jackpot waiting to be discovered. And remember, the next time you see an old nickel, don't ignore it. It might just be the coin that changes everything. Because in the world of coin collecting, even 5 cents can be worth a fortune. Stop right there. Because that old nickel you're about to ignore could be worth far more than 5 cents. In fact, one specific coin from the late 1930s has shocked collectors again and again with its hidden value. Today, we're talking about the 1937 Buffalo nickel, a coin that looks ordinary but in the right condition or with the right error can be worth thousands of dollars. Now think about this. How many times have you seen an old coin and just brushed it aside? Maybe you even spend it without thinking. That's exactly why valuable coins keep slipping through people's hands every single day. Because they look normal. They don't shine like gold. They don't scream, "I'm valuable." They sit quietly, waiting for someone who knows what to look for. The 1937 Buffalo nickel is part of one of the most famous coin designs in American history. This coin features a Native American portrait on the front and a powerful buffalo standing on the reverse. It was designed by James Earl Fraser, and it represents a piece of American culture that collectors still chase today. But here's the truth. Not every 1937 Buffalo nickel is the same. Some are common, some are rare, and a few are extremely valuable. The first thing you need to understand is mint marks. The 1937 Buffalo nickel was minted in different locations, and each one can affect the value of the coin. If your coin has no mint mark, it was made in Philadelphia. If you see a small D, it was minted in Denver. And if you see an S, it came from San Francisco. At first glance, that might not seem important, but in the world of coin collecting, those tiny letters can mean everything. Now, here's where things start to get interesting. The 1937 D Buffalo nickel is one of the most talked about coins in the entire series, and it's all because of one legendary error. This error is known as the three-legged buffalo. Yes, you heard that right. There are 1937 D nickels where the buffalo appears to have only 3 legs instead of 4. This wasn't done on purpose. It was a mistake during the minting process. A worker over-polished the coin die, removing part of the buffalo's front leg, and when those coins were struck, they came out looking completely different. To most people, it might look like damage, but to collectors, it's one of the most famous and valuable errors ever made. And the value? It can be shocking. A genuine 1937 D three-legged buffalo nickel can be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on its condition. Even heavily worn examples can sell for big money. And in higher grades, these coins have reached incredible prices at auction. Now, imagine this for a moment. You find an old nickel in a drawer, you flip it over, and you notice something strange. The buffalo doesn't look right. One of the legs seems to be missing. That moment, that realization, could change everything, because you might be holding one of the most famous error coins in American history. But here's the problem. Many people don't know what to look for. They either miss the detail or they assume it's just damage. And because of that, valuable coins continue to be spent, lost, or ignored. That's why knowledge is power. If you want to find valuable coins, you need to train your eyes to notice small details. Now, let's talk about condition, because this is another factor that can completely change the value of your 1937 Buffalo nickel. Most of these coins were used in everyday transactions. They passed through thousands of hands. Over time, the details wore down. The date faded, the buffalo lost its sharpness, and the coin became less valuable. But every once in a while, you find one that looks almost untouched. These are called uncirculated coins. They still have their original shine. The details are sharp, the lines are clear, and collectors love them. A regular 1937 Buffalo nickel, in worn condition, might only be worth a few dollars, but in uncirculated condition, the value can jump to tens or even hundreds of dollars. And if it's a rare version like the three-legged buffalo, the value can go even higher. Another thing to look for is the quality of the strike. Some coins were struck more clearly than others. A strong strike means the design is sharp and well-defined. A weak strike means the details look soft or blurry. Strongly struck coins are more desirable and can sell for higher prices. You should also look for any unusual features. Doubling in the letters, off-center designs, or strange shapes can indicate a mint error. These errors are often rare and can increase the value of a coin significantly. Now, here's something important you need to remember. Never clean your coin. It might seem like a good idea to make it look shiny, but cleaning can actually destroy the value. Collectors prefer coins in their original condition, even if they look old or dirty. Cleaning can leave scratches and remove the natural surface, making the coin less desirable. If you think you have a valuable 1937 Buffalo nickel, the best thing you can do is keep it safe and have it evaluated by a professional. A certified coin can sell for much more because buyers trust its authenticity and grade. Now, let's talk about the real opportunity. Valuable coins are still out there. They're sitting in old collections hidden in drawers or even mixed in with everyday change. People are still finding rare coins every single year, and the only reason they find them is because they take the time to look. So, ask yourself this. When was the last time you actually checked your coins? Not just glanced at them, but really looked at them? Because that's where the difference is. Most people see coins as money. Collectors see coins as history, as art, as opportunity, and sometimes as hidden treasure. The 1937 Buffalo nickel is a perfect example of this. It's a coin that millions of people have held, but only a few truly understand its value. And now you're one of those people. So, the next time you come across an old nickel, don't ignore it. Look at the date. Check the mint mark. Study the buffalo, because one small detail, one tiny difference, could turn 5 cents into something extraordinary. And that's the beauty of coin collecting. The treasure isn't buried underground. It's already in your hands. You just have to recognize it. Fire Moneybag.